Every time we live a betrayal and we choose to start over, you will have to live the challenge of love without confidence. I remember once I wrote about it on Twitter and some people disputed, "Oh, but if there is no confidence, there is no love." No, it has nothing to do with one thing with another. I may well love my son and I don't trust him for what he has done, for disobedience, but I love anyway. So I may well love and not trust anymore. Then it's harder to go on, because when I love and trust, I have two foundations. When I just love and I don't trust, I can only count on a foundation for the relationship. But then we have a chance. It is easier for you to rebuild confidence than you rebuild love. When we stop loving, it is very difficult to rebuild love, because love is a very natural movement in us. I have no way to say so. I will love. No. I can even say I'll take care. I'll make an effort to be generous, to be loving. I think the decision is the continuity of what previously existed. So when a couple loses love, it is much more difficult to rebuild the relationship, because we don't know where to pull this love, because it is very mysterious. Already the confidence. No. Confidence is already a more enlightened territory. It is easier for you to look for everyday actions that can help rebuild trust. For example, our cell phones will have no password. We will have nothing to hide from each other. Marry where there was a precise betrayal, at the first moment of reconstruction, to fall apart all the situations that could generate the other's distrust. Priest. But he is entitled, and I am entitled. We are entitled when everything is fine. If there is the intention of rebuilding, confidence must be taken from the agenda of our daily lives. From our daily lives. Everything that can reaffirm distrust. So if the phone has a password in a couple's life, it may have something to hide from me. I am not saying that you do not have to have password on your phone if you are in a normal life, where confidence is established and your wife does not mind that your phone is locked. What I will say to you, the phone is the place of betrayals. This internet brought a lot of good things, but it also brought a huge door to our misfortunes. This internet, this ease with which we communicate, with which we get friends with 1,000 people on Twitter, on Facebook, Instagram, all the time these people are invading our lives, they are removing us from the plumb. So a good way to demonstrate that we want to change is even away from these social networks. This helps to rebuild confidence. When you realize that there is a very concrete conduct indicating a good intention. So, my friend, if you said there was no more love, I would say your situation is more difficult. But if you said you love and only lost confidence, let's rebuild it. Confidence can be rebuilt. Yes. I say again, to make all that can be mysterious between you both, stay more together. Sometimes we end up leading each other to betray us, because we are absent too much. Couple is like that. You who work a lot, be careful. You may be working too much, making money, this and that. But you are losing affectionately, because you are diminishing the strength of the bond you have with your wife, with your children. And the heart, sometimes empty, says, with his little cell phone in hand, with that beautiful people, available, loving. Because on the internet, everyone can be beautiful, loving, affectionate, perfect. This is the devil knocking on the door. And you are not there because you are very absent if you have absent too much. It was no longer vigilant. Do you know that story of the vigilance Jesus teaches us? It is for everything in life. Be vigilant in your relationships. The other day, Christian took advantage that we went to do the spiritual driving program. Did not think twice, because the wife inside the car went to make a honeymoon there. Wasn't it, Christian? This is too important in the couple's life. Create opportunity for you to be together. Ask the mother. Ask someone who can stay with the children. Get out one day at night, both. Life needs to have romanticism. Your love deserves it. Sometimes you have a very hard daily life. They work, get home so tired, and you have lost the pleasure of enjoying yourself, Enjoy life for two. The other day, the speaker, Mayor Belo Horizonte, is saying that the priests could not marry, that it was a way the church had to. I think it was to propose celibacy, to not have sex, right? To live well, the option of never. Then he says, no, just let marry. Because after home, there is no sex anymore. Usually this is so, he said. And everyone laughed a lot, because a pig is really true, right? House, and then loses even the pleasure of sex life. Becomes such a boring routine. The couple is there more than a month without practicing. You can't. You need to take care. Sex life is a complement to love life, especially affection. If this affection is ceased, which is so important for the other to feel valued, for the other to feel love, it is very difficult. Because then the traitor will bring what you are not offering to it. The opposite too. Suddenly you stop offering, Fedor goes there. Takes everything. The fedora. You as a wife. Sometimes I don't know. I may have fooled, but sometimes women are more attentive to marriage. And that's why they have so much need to discuss the relationship. And man has an implication for it. What is it discussing the relationship? It is alerting to what the door can be for an unpleasant evento. So let's reestablish confidence. Because if love exists, we already have half the way. I wish from the bottom of my heart that this discipline in the Christian life can help us live our relationships. Because yes, when I live the discipline of my Christian life, I am more attentive to the love I love and the care I need have for this love to last to last. I find it interesting that sometimes life takes us in such a hurry, which sometimes makes us make a return. It is always good for us to go back to our origins. In fact, more and more I convince myself that a man cannot be happy far from his roots. Knowledge of our deepest reality, what we are. It may be that life has modified you too much. It may be that throughout your life you have become a very different person from when you were in childhood. It may be that your roots were very far from you because of the life you were slowly assuming. And it is very common for us to find people at some point in this personal story who begins to feel the desire to resume some things that were being left behind, and then becomes impossible to seek and find because it stopped looking at the right time. We can do it every day before sleeping, a return to what is really important to us. You get back to your roots, you always have contact with what you are again. I personally was born in a very simple family, in a context of great simplicity. And as much as my life has changed me, no matter how much my life has given me opportunities to know the world, to meet a lot of people, to live more comfortably than when I was a child, I always ask God for gracito, resume that simplicity that was proper to my first half, for a very simple reason. Only the moment I take possession of that simplicity that was part of my childhood, will I know how to enjoy everything life gives me today. We have opportunities, knowledge, because it is this maintained simplicity that will make me balanced in what today I can have had. You may have been unbalanced a little in life the moment you have detached yourself too much of your roots. You even forgot who you were because you became such a different person from when you were a child. Your opportunities, everything you had, everything you no longer have, or the opposite either. Everything you didn't have, and you have now. Most importantly, my people are never to stop cultivating the roots we have. Wintertime is a time when trees they cope with a millennial wisdom. Plant wisdom, say so. In wintertime, a tree only survives as it is able to pull all the sap that is feeding the vanity of its leaves and its fruits and condenses that sap in its roots. Because what makes a tree stand up is not the beauty of its leaves, but it is the fortress of its roots. And then that's what we're talking about. When we have very solidified roots, very irrigated, quite nourished, we face the winter times better. We face the times of our difficulty better. We will know how to live different that time in our story when things do not seem to be much in our favor. It is the wisdom of the trees teaching us to lie. Seek to feed your roots. Christmas, New Year, is always a good time for us to start redoing our human relationships. It may be that you, throughout this year have gone away from your roots, your brothers, your parents, your family, your friends. Those childhood friends you haven't seen for so long and have been so important in your life at that time. It is always good for us to make a return to what was ours. That by the strength of our haste or the diversity that has taken over our history, we came to forget. Give one there. Enjoy this holiday so you can see the friends you stopped cultivating this year. Take a look at your friends who were falling into oblivion, in the family members you were ceasing to cultivate. Many times in the hurry that takes me, I forget to take care of my roots. And suddenly I don't even have fun in my leaves and my fruits, because my roots are in need of sapie. And God is this strength that helps us put our eyes on what is essential. Essence already says it all. Essential is that without which we cannot be what we are. There are realities in our life that are accidental. You live very well without them. You, for example, a Mercedes-Benz, which everyone would like to have, are accidental in our lives. We live very well without her. But the blood in your veins, this you can't give up. There are so many material goods that are merely accidental, and we reverse this scale of values. Many times we put material goods as essential in our lives, but it is not. The essential is, first of all, what sustains us as people. It is the love we love. It is the attention we give, we receive. It is the people we can trust. It is essential that we have good friends in life, even because no wealth is funny if you have no one to share without. It can be the richest man in the world. We even use that expression. It was so poor, so poor, so poor, that he only had money. These are our accidental realities. I already had moments in my life of extreme need, even material, often missing inside our home even food for us to eat. But I cannot deny that at that moment of extreme material lack, our poverty was supplied by my father's affection, my mother's affection, my brothers, who made my house happy even when we were so far away. It is the difference from Western and to the essential. We never had a beautiful home to live, but we had what was essential, the joy of being who we were, the joy of being able to go home. That's so good, isn't it? This is the essential in your life. This is the essential that you need to give your children. Make your home a place where they want to return. Many times we will know how to give our children a good air as we come back in time and begin to replace those who were part of our lives. And suddenly, we forgot. Mother, father, brothers, people who are essential in our lives.